Hey, what's up guys, Joshua Boost here and welcome back to another One Piece video. Today we have the finals of the New Year's event. We played in the Netherlands, Zoetermeer, Spellemeer last week, which was a 32-person event, so 5 rounds. And this is the finals, like I said, which is actually a pretty interesting one because as you can see on the left, we actually have Nico Robin, piloted by Rowan, against myself with Lucci. So at this point we were both the only undefeated, so both 4-0. And I think I won the die roll and went first. I'm not completely sure. But yeah, just going over the matchup real quick. We actually also see that I keep my hand and go on as to Mulligan here. Going over the matchup real quick. Honestly, I'm obviously not super familiar with this matchup. I haven't tested it extensively or anything like that, but I understood from the little gameplay I did myself and also from what Rowan told me that Lucci is actually one of Robin's worst matchups. So yeah, that is pretty good for me. Oh, actually Robin went first, so I think then probably he won the die roll and opted to go first. I would assume so. And he actually starts with the Law here, which I think is actually a card not a lot of people are playing in Robin, but I'm not sure why, because it is very, very strong. Because it helps you get to your top end, which a lot of Robin decks I've seen, they basically just have to get lucky and draw it. So, yeah, and he plays the Law here and then opts to go for the 9-cost Luffy. And I also have my own searcher in the form of Spandam, which is going to pick up a Khalifa, I think, Milling, a Brook, and a Rebecca, I'm pretty sure. So now Robin goes to 3 Dawn, and this is also the first attacking turn, which means that Robin will be able to use her ability to, when attacking, discard a card and ramp a Dawn. And then also, of course, Robin has Banish, and with this 8k swing, I mean, that's gonna resolve, and it's actually gonna trash the Ice Age from the life, which is like a pretty good hit, because you know, Robin is going to be ramping and then playing out big bodies. So having access to the Ice Age is actually quite a good thing for Lucci. So Lucci swinging in here, milling Lucci and Spandam, just 5. Giving -1 to the Law, I guess, but it's not super relevant. And Robin actually takes it here, and it is the Saul, which basically has triggered just... I think if your leader is Nico Robin, you can play him out, and then he's a 3-cost 5k blocker, if I'm not incorrect on that one. So pretty good for him. Definitely good on the tempo. I play down Rebecca here, and I do a little thing because my options are basically the Brook or the Lucci. And just to give a little insight into my thinking here, I had Soap Sheep in hand, so I was thinking maybe of picking up the Lucci to next turn go for a Soap Sheep Lucci, but that's only actually really good if the Robin is going to be playing out a 5-cost here, and he is going to 6 Dawn there, and I think their preferred play on this turn is playing out the 6-cost Nico Robin, the one that says that your opponent has to trash a life. He's going to be swinging into the Brook here, which gets countered by a 2k Who's Who. And now he's doing a little think. Obviously the Robin is going to swing in, but the Rebecca is on board, so he's going to go 6 into Brook. So if I want to keep the Brook on the field, then most likely I'm going to have to block, because I do not want to discard 2 cards from my hand, right? And he actually pitches the Robin, which I just mentioned, so he actually had it. And then a block. And then the 5-cost Nami comes down, discard a Frankie, pop my Brook, and then he gets to draw a card, since he had like 3 cards in hand after that. So pretty strong turn. 2 5k bodies on the field now. Lucci going to 6 Dawn, and this is where the Soap Sheep into Lucci would have been very nice. But let's see what's actually gonna come down. Like, it depends, right? There are some plays that are definitely, that could be good here. For example, going into Kaku here would not be bad to just swing into Robin and then go in Kaku on the Saw because it establishes another beater. I go Lucci into Robin, I think, give -1 to Saw, and I actually mill Moria and Jack, so definitely not the best of mills. But we already do have a little bit of setup actually here on the Lucci side with the Forecast Lucci and Trash, and also Rebecca and Brooke, right, which is nice. And I also believe Spandam, so if a Moria would come down, it would definitely have some impact. The attack here gets countered, and then the Brooke is going to come down, give -1 to Saul. And he attempts to pick it up here, but it doesn't quite go yet. But then the second Brooke comes down to give it another -1, so it's at 0, and then the Brooke can KO it. So this is quite nice, because now both the Brooks are also going to be able to give a -1 on the next turn, which will potentially help get rid of the Luffy that is most likely going to come down here, because the Robin now is at 9 Don, and we already know he has the 9 cost Luffy in hand. So just going to be swinging 5 here with the Nami. I actually think my hand at this point is kind of small, and we know that one of the cards in my hand is the Soap Sheep. So I'm doing a little think here if I want to take it, because I'm obviously going to have to take the 9, right? And then the Robin, you always want to counter it out, because the banish is just too strong. Or maybe not counter it out, really thinking here, but maybe the think is on like what is going to be used to counter the swing, right? The banish on a leader is just so strong. Kind of reminds me of when Yamato was just released with the double attack, which was also kind of crazy at the time. Sort of anyway, right? Because I guess what really made Yamato not as good is the card pool that was just a little bit limited for her at the time, and still is, by the way. Green is really like the most undervalued color in the game, I feel, at this point. And then we had some cycles where red was really good and black was really good. I guess we're still in the second cycle with black. Just having access to Gecko Moria is kind of crazy, right? And finally, after a very, very big think, the Khalifa gets discarded. And then the Luffy is gonna come down, swing 9k, which of course Lucci takes. And now it's just gonna be a game of, can we out this Luffy? Which would be very, very pleasant. But we'll see. Actually, if I do remember correctly, then I don't remember correctly. I do not. It was like last week that we actually played this game, so I'm not really sure how all the turns went down anymore. But it is a very interesting game set. Like if there's like a proper reduction like Tempest Kick or Ice Age in the Lucci hand, then it should be very easy to get rid of the Luffy, right? But if there isn't, then it might actually be a little bit hard. This is the 8th Dawn turn. Yes, I do remember correctly. This is the 8th Dawn turn. Moria would also be, of course, a huge help in this case. Give -1 to the Luffy, making it an 8 cost. And then we still have 2 reductions from the Brooks left to make it a 6 cost potentially. So if there's some form of combination of cards to reduce the Luffy by 6, that means that the Brooks will be able to get rid of it. Oh, then actually the Lucci swing on Nami is countered by another Nami. By Onami, I think it is. Pretty old school yellow card, right? Just the one that says KO a 5 cost from life, and then it also gives banish to a character or leader if you play it. But I mean, giving it to the Nico Robin is not really necessary, right? Because she already has banish from herself. But playing this out when you have already a big body on board is definitely very nice. So 5 coming in here on the Nami. 3 cards in hand, I think, for Robin here. So if they are all countered, then that would be kind of nice for him. He's gonna do a little check of the trash here, picking up. I'm not sure. Can't quite tell. Oh, the Jack. Picking up the Jack. Which makes sense, right? Because now 7 Don has been spent, so he's probably thinking that maybe a Jack is gonna come down. Let's see what that does. But to be fair, probably if there was a Jack in my hand, then would have made more sense for Lucci to go 5 on life with leader, 5 on life with Brook, give double -1 to the Onami, and then just play out Jack. KO the Onami. There is a lot of cards in the Lucci hand. So for like 5 or 6, so definitely a fair amount of cards, but kind of not looking like there will be enough reduction or removal to get rid of the bodies here. Maybe there will be, because now we see Brook come down, give -1. Then we see how Meppo come down, give -3. So now the Luffy is a 3 cost. And then, right, Kaku comes down, which KOs a 3 cost by putting 2 CP cards to the bottom of the deck. So we did manage to get rid of the Luffy there, which is nice, but not ideal. Definitely, actually it's not that bad, but you definitely do prefer to not play down Meppo, right? In this sense, it's really usually just a tool you get from the trash. And now it's Robin's turn again, and we'll see if he will try to go for more board control by outing the Brooks, or just continue pressing live here. But I guess that really depends on the hand on the Robin side, which is just 3 cards again, so definitely not very likely. He has a lot of options here, like actual good plays. So you see Nami go into the Brook there, 5 into 4k. So we do require 2k to counter out the Nami swing. And we see what is in the hand. I think it's Jack. I'm not sure. So that raises the question, like last turn could also have been possible to swing 5-5 and then play Jack out the Onami, but that leaves the Luffy on the field, right? And the Luffy on the field could easily clear the Jack, which is definitely not what you want. So would have been able to go -2, -3. So it's -5, and then yeah, right, with the soap sheep and the reduction on field, Jack was just one cost short of getting rid of the 9 cost Luffy. Now Robin is doing a big thing. Really curious what the options here were. Oh, Robin already swung, it looks like. I'm sorry, I'm not paying attention. Was too focused on the possibilities for the last turn. Anyway, we see Law come down here, which picks up the Sanji. The Rush Sanji from OP09. Amazing card. Rest is 6 cost, and it has Rush if you put back a Dawn. And then we see another 9 cost Luffy here. I really think like these huge Rush characters are very, very powerful. They apply a lot of pressure, and we see Luffy swing into life, so he's really opting to go on the aggro here instead of trying to control the board by getting rid of Brook. Which we will see if this will turn out well. So there are some options here, right? There is the option to go play for control, or just against 3 life, up to go for 3 life, 3 cards in hand, up to go for game. Which will be hard because there's only like 1 character on board that's bigger than 5k, which is the Kaku, and then the other hitters would be like Brook and Helmeppo, which are both require quite a large Dawn investment to pressure the Robin here. And then also Robin is like a yellow deck, so there could potentially be triggers which will make it harder to push for game. So against yellow, black always tries to play the control game as long as possible, but here it is looking very, very rough. So we go 5 into Nami, mill a Tempest Kick and a Sabo, and give a -1 to the Luffy. Again against 3 cards. Even if he counts out, it's still possible to try to push for game with the 10 Don we are at now, but it will be hard. It will basically require like no triggers and also like very little counter in hand to make a decent game push. Or alternatively, he can just let the Nami go, right? Not waste the counters in his hand. And then it will be even harder to push for game, but I assume there is like some control line which would then be looking good for the Lucci here. And the swing on the Nami there actually does get countered out. So Lucci's at 8, or the Luffy's at 8 now. I think we saw Kaku, so that would mean a -3. Which would put him at 4, then Soap Sheep and Double Brew. Oh no, there is no Double Brew, there's only one Brook. Right, the other one got KO'd in battle last turn. Interesting. Very, very interesting. So it will be hard to get rid of the Luffy here, right? And if the Luffy stays on board, then that's basically game over, I would say. I guess there is the option of actually swinging into it with the Kaku. And then also swinging into the Nami with the Brook, and then the Brook will KO the Law, and then by battle get rid of everything. However, that means that next turn there will be a Robin swing for 8, I think, and then the Sanji swing for 7, probably, which actually could get countered out because there is a Tsugu and a Kaku in hand at this point. So now we see Kaku swing into the Nami, which will require a 2k to protect, which we are not sure he has. The only card we know for sure that's in the hand is the Sanji. So honestly, maybe re-evaluating this game state, maybe going 3 Don under the Brook, swing 7 into Nami, KO Law, and then put 7 Don under Kaku, swing 14 into Luffy. Wouldn't even be that crazy of a play, honestly. Leaving just Robin on field, then we can counter out the Robin swing, and then maybe next turn try to push for game, but that would still be super risky, right? Very, very risky. Because again, only small beaters, and potentially that would mean that Robin could even go 2 Don under Robin, swing into life, then you pretty much are forced to counter that out, and then the Sanji could come down and swing 8 into Kaku, and then the Kaku would be KO'd, and then you have to hit into 3 life with just the little cards on field. Anyway, now the play that's actually gonna happen is gonna come down, and we actually did grab Moria from the top deck. And basically the win condition here is going to be play out Rebecca and Spandam, and now the Spandam has to pick up Tempest Kick, and then Mill double Moria and Lucci. What was the line again? Right, so I think the play was, I hope that Spandam gets Tempest Kick, and then with Rebecca play out the Tsuru. And then, right, this also happens. 5 into life, and they actually hit into Nami, which KOs the Rebecca blocker as well. But we needed to keep the Brook swing for later, and I guess maybe this was risky to go swing into life, but had to apply pressure for the next turn, right? And now Robin is going to swing 6, which gets countered. Then we get, how big is Luffy again? 10? Spoiler alert, I'm just pretending to think here. There is only like 2k counter in my hand. So now actually I'm curious, what did Rebecca pick up? Did it pick up a 2k? Or did it not pick up anything at all? That's also a possibility, to be fair, that I was like, oh, I got tilted because the Spandam didn't hit the Tempest Kick. So that's definitely a misplay then. To be fair, it didn't matter, but I mean, it's always better to pick up something than to not pick up something, right? Then another Luffy comes down. This is also a minor misplay, I think. Would have just go swing big with Robin swings, and then swing big with Luffy, like 12-13, I think is the split. But yeah, this is fine, right? There's like no counter in hand. And the last life was Ice Age, so yeah, it literally didn't matter that the Rebecca didn't pick up anything, but still, would have been better to do it. Yeah, GG, Robin going 5-0, winning the Nami event, very, very impressive. Like, subscribe, yada yada, see ya in the next one.